Oof. I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
There's a lot of titties on the TV.
A lot of titties on the TV. I have the most disrespectful person to the left of me.
Wow.
Oh my God. My chest is hurting.
Whoa.
I don't know. Woo-wee.
Whoa, why? Why would you say that?
Why
would you say such things?
You've been quoting a song
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not particularly a fan of.
That's what it is.
Not that I'm not a fan of the song.
That's why I'm so disrespectful.
Song's amazing.
Yeah.
Song is amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing song.
Thank you.
But there's one specific quote on this song that you just keep going back to.
Fuck Jay-Z.
There's so much animosity, so much.
Godson across the belly.
It probably peaked on the recording. It's just, oh Lord.
It was satisfying for me, and it's no ill intent, no malice. It was just like, yo, that's just what it was. If you were on, one side of the table, and then here you on the other side of the table, my side of the table was just like, you know what I'm saying? I'll mouth it for you this time.
You get no more Duce for the rest of the episode, so you better savor whatever you have there, okay? Fine. There's no way, like title, there's no more Duce sponsorship. None of it is
Duce, ayo, Duce.
We love you.
Ayo, Duce. No bullshit, like, we go and we get this Duce. I've been told that it's a shortage from Atlanta to LA. And we go and we make sure we find it for each and every episode.
I literally called about 18 different stores yesterday to find Duce. Luckily, I found a place that had a few bottles where everybody else was like, nah, we ain't got it.
You know what? I'd still do that even if Hov ever saw this episode and disapproved of me quoting that very exact lyric, that very real lyric from Ether. And that's the way the song started.
So let me just ask you.
And I'm sure
these are not your words and your feelings. These are just the words.
It's just the words from a song.
Of Nasir Jones.
It's just the words from a song that I like that I quoted. That's it.
Okay.
Period.
Hey.
City Girls, period. It seems you're really like uncomfortable with this. I don't understand why.
Because that's my guy.
Okay, cool.
Okay, like.
I'm sure he's past it though. You don't think that?
No, absolutely. I know
he's millions and millions and millions of dollars past it though.
Oh yeah, he's not worried about it. Nas isn't worried about it, anything like that.
Can I say it again?
No.
That's the problem.
Say it. Go ahead, say it. So
he doesn't like it.
It really does rub me wrong because of the goals that I have in my life.
We still will get there.
Rock Nation Brunch.
It's a real song,
what's
bro.
What's good?
I didn't publish the song.
Rock Nation Brunch. What's good?
I hope to have a real conversation at some point in life. And this nigga already knows. Shit.
Yeah.
You talking about that song over and over again.
Yeah, it is uncomfortable. Hov's my guy,
He is the guy.
He's my guy.
He's the guy.
I know that.
You know what I'm saying?
I know that.
But Ether is a very real song. I didn't publish it either.
There's a fact. You didn't publish it. You didn't write it. You didn't produce it. You don't have any publishing on it. You didn't nothing.
I was just quoting a real lyric.
What is it? Do you think Takeover or do you think... I'm not doing that with you.
Why? No.
Because honestly, it's not even with you. It's really just a dumbass conversation to
have, right?
Yeah, that's 2000. No, it's just 2001. That's so 2001.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
I don't know. What?
I just wanted to make you, like, cringe.
You wanted to get me... You wanted me to grit my teeth.
Yeah.
You wanted me to get angry, but I have... I have mastered... I zen the fuck out.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Going in and out, swimming in the house, live with no doubt, zen the fuck out.
I did that. You know,
I wanted you to
Big
cringe.
Sean helped me.
Yeah, that's it. There you go.
Big Sean assisted, you know, with that. So thank you, Big Sean.
Right.
Thank you. I
Learned a little
appreciate you.
something from Detroit too.
Yeah, Detroit too got some really good shit on there. Honestly,
Bangers.
another good one. What's up with your boy Ye? Like, he has some good things. He has some bad things. You know,
I feel like you're
with
attacking
him
me.
as of recently.
I feel like you're attacking me now.
No, I'm going to attack you, but like to get into some real shit, right?
Okay.
You attacked my guy.
Yeah, that's why I feel like now you want to just attack me. But okay, let's.
You've attacked my guy. You know,
I didn't attack
gotta
him.
throw a shot. I gotta, you know.
All right, let's do it.
This is my counter.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm Mike Tyson, you Roy Jones Jr. I
don't like that.
I'm fucking around. But like Ye's been, you know, Ye's had a few things going on right now. A lot of things that I really enjoy. Some things that I dislike, such as misleading people. But more importantly, you know, I'll stay away from that. I believe we talked about that before on here. If not, whatever. But he came out a few weeks back and he said something along the lines of, you know, wanting to see everybody's contracts at Universal because he doesn't want people to be enslaved. Trying to get, you know, all the top artists in the same room so people aren't, you know, like, so what he said was, he was like, let's stop making money for people that live overseas that are putting money in hedge funds. Some British guy, that's what he said. You know, getting Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick, all of them in a room. He also said he wants to talk to Jay, like all that, right? There's a lot of stuff floating around, but the whole conversation is about your worth, right? And, you know, we had a great conversation literally right after the last episode about worth, right? And, you know, what that means to us, where we want to take those things, how to decipher what your worth is, and, you know, things like that. So, like,
I think that for the most part, Kanye is misunderstood, and while, you know, sometimes I feel like a broken record when I say things, I'll try to have an understanding from where everyone is coming. Damn, I just caught deja vu, nigga. I'll try to have an understanding from where everyone is coming. Even the person that is on the complete opposite end of what I'm saying, I want to try to understand where, at least understand where you're coming from, so I can, you know, okay, I can see where that's rooted from. Boom, I understand, you know, why you got to where you are. Right? I'll try to have understanding from where everyone is coming, but I feel as though Kanye is just, for the most part, completely misunderstood, and that he means well.
But is it our doing or is it his?
It could be his. It could be his. It could
be.
It could be his.
It could be on stage and just
it could be
blurts out a lot of
perspective.
things.
It could be his. It could be perspective. It could be that it's for, you know, I'm in my energy bag and my vibrations. Maybe if you're not vibrating on the same frequency, you'll completely miss it. If you do get it, you might dissect it and tear it apart and overthink it. But I feel like he's misunderstood. But we had a conversation, and you said that you feel like he means well, and that's at the end of the day, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I do genuinely feel like he's behind the scenes doing things to advance who we are. And a lot of people may not see that in the media. You know what I'm saying? But we know what the media does to people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But don't blame it.
Because a lot of people may not get the full conversation, may not have the full understanding, and they don't have the access to what the details are, and they don't have to. As long as his intentions are pure, which I feel like they are, I'm cool with that. Right? And I do feel like he wants to see us be valued, and everyone, artists and just black people, our culture in general, be valued at what they're worth.
Yeah, I definitely, you know, like I said on live, you know, when we went on live, that I definitely would like to. I would like for him to just be a little more articulate and kind of not stay in his lane on certain things, but if you don't have the full story, you're not going to share the full perspective on a topic, please don't speak about it on a public platform, because you're going to be mad when you're criticized
or
about
maybe
it.
Bring somebody in
To fuel the conversation.
Right,
and allow you to feed off of it.
Right, on the opposite side of your perspective, and you guys go back and forth, and you share what you're most passionate about, because I think that maybe he gets caught up in what he's most passionate about, and he doesn't share the other side of the story, and then have that person kind of oppose. Kanye today on his regularly rants really put out there a model that may work better for artists as it relates to the music industry, and you and I had a deeper conversation about that. And in the comments, this is Shade Room again, I'm regular in the comments. In the comments, Juicy J said, yo, this is a great proposal, this is a great deal, but the labels are never going to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why aren't the labels going to do that? Because that would destroy the labels.
It would destroy the labels, but also at the same time, it's because we're out here, and back to the conversation about our worth. There's a lot of conversations actually out here about our worth. It's not just music. It's the podcast industry. It's just traditional workforce.
Everyday 9 to 5.
Things like that. Like there's been continuous. Like there's a Twitter floating around about being black in the office. There was a thing about being black at Nike. There's a thing about being black at Shade Room. There was one being black at Complex.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. Not just to strip it down to being black, because we can strip it down to being black, but as it relates to just the general workforce, being a human being. What is your worth? I was thinking about this the other day. What is your worth? Just as a human being. Then we can strip it down to being black, because we fucking can, right?
Yeah.
But as a human being, what is your worth? Do you let your job determine, your annual salary determine what you're worth?
Most people do.
Do you? And that's a question. That's a real question that I want you guys, if you see this, to chime in on. Do you let your annual salary to determine what you're worth? And if what you're being paid annually, if that determines what you're worth,
does that actually reflect what your role entails?
Boom. You know what I'm saying? Is that it?
Because, put it this way, right? Just think about this. Think about you working in a customer service background, right? If you work in a customer service background, say you work in a call center, right? And your job is to retain customers, right? And let's go even deeper. Say if you work for just say you work for a company where your job is to retain customers, right? And in this, you're retaining customers, and those customers have something where they either bought in to your company or whatever it may be. And every time that person calls in, you're retaining that person as a customer.
And let's also say this. Let's also say your starting salary, $40K.
$40K, okay.
$40K.
All right. And say you're retaining that customer, and you have a great experience that you provide to that customer, and that customer, for some reason brings in, maybe $40,000 to your business, the company that you work for on a day-to-day business or on a day-to-day basis, right? That's just one customer. So then the next customer comes in, they may have the same, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, maybe a lot more, maybe a lot less, right? But you're retaining all of these customers, and your business strives off of this. Your company strives off of this. It uses those funds to do certain things with them, and then they make a profit.
Right.
But they're only charging you,
$40K.
I'm sorry, they're only giving you 40K,
So
where they're a 9 billion, 100 billion, 900 billion.
So let's just say hypothetically within that year you retain for that business the sum of, let's just
Let me be specific. Let me do this.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'm talking in circles. Say you work for a bank, right? You work at a bank, and the money, your job is just to retain all the money in this bank as possible. Whenever somebody comes in with an issue, you're supposed to provide a great customer service to retain that customer so they do not take their money elsewhere, right? Mm-hmm. Your company uses those funds to provide home loans, credit cards, auto loans, etc.
Yep.
Right? So they are making money off of that because they are putting interest rates on those things. Right? Where they make their money. So say you do all of that, you're working with maybe 30, 40, 50 customers a day if you're on the phones talking, and you're retaining those customers so your bank can run business on a day-to-day basis and make their money. But you're only making $40,000 a year.
Think about that.
A year.
Think about that.
But you're talking to people on a day-to-day basis that may total
Millions.
in the upwards of $1 million a day. And you retain those customers.
Right.
You retain those customers to be continuous business partners so that we can continually take their money to operate in a space.
Now let me ask you this question again. What are you worth?
If that makes sense, you guys really need to understand that we're never, like, if we continue to operate the way that we do and allow these businesses to do these types of things without any sort of union structure or somebody to go to bat for us in a lot of these situations, it's just going to continuously go on. If we were to take just a simple 0.5% of what we retain on a day-to-day basis,
or our customer service experience, and applying that into any industry, what you retain, the insurance policies that you've collected on, whatever
just
applies
a percentage. It could be the
to your
minuscule.
Just a percentage. Think about it. Think about the millions of dollars that a lot of corporations on a day-to-day basis gain and what you are given.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? We go out here, we get a job. For the most part, everyday person isn't thinking about, like, bigger picture. They're thinking about the rent that's due, the utilities they need to pay, the clothes they need, the car, transportation. They're thinking about the things that are in front of them. You know what I'm saying? They're not considering, like, what the fuck am I sitting here? You know what I'm saying? Why am I sitting here taking this right here when I know in fact that you're making way more off of the work that I'm doing in the front lines?
We're making pennies on the dollar.
Pennies on a dollar. Back to the music industry.
And that's why you see so much turnover when it comes to there's more turnover in hierarchy than it is on the ground level associate. Reason being is because they need us more than they need the boss. So just pay attention. That's why they always change out. That's why people are always moving. I just saw the creative director or something like that of Adidas is going to Shopify. I'm like, what the fuck is Shopify? They don't even have a product. What is Shopify doing that they would need a creative director of Adidas to go there for?
I also think that the creative director of Adidas knows better You know what I'm saying?
Better what?
To take a better deal.
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
getting what I'm worth at Adidas.
Yeah, he was the one that brought Kanye over.
You know what I'm saying? So let me go over here and see what I can negotiate at Shopify.
Mm-hmm.
It may not make, like, to your point.
Yeah, it's not going to make sense to me right now. I've been
you.
looking into it to try to figure it out.
You know what I'm saying?
But, yeah.
But to them, they're in a room with the people that are having conversations about the overall, the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is what we need to bring in.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Front lines, you know what I'm saying? They come in here, they come to get their check, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where we are here at the top, and everything else just trickles down.
Yeah.
You know
And that is just banking, right? Like, think about, say you work at a magazine, right? You work at a well, shoot, let's not even do that. Let's talk about, like, Joe Budden. Joe Budden basically got into it, you know, obviously, you know, a few weeks back as well. He's no longer with Spotify as we know it. You know, and he broke it down and he explained, you know, the reason for him leaving, and also the reason why. Put it this way: it's weird because it all goes, and there's a lot here. It's a lot to kind of like put together, and I don't want to like talk in circles, but the social, what is it called? What was that?
The social dilemma.
The social dilemma, the Joe Budden situation, all of it is tied in because what Spotify does and how they operate as a business. So let's just say that if you're not familiar, look at the social dilemma and then listen to the Joe Budden podcast. Mm-hmm. But Joe Budden said that he made Spotify on the upwards of 9 figures, right?
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy, right? It's amazing, and that just shows us that what we do and what podcasts are and the way that it's going and what it's going to do in the future is major, right? But also for him to not take the pennies that they were going to offer him in a sense.
Do you feel that Joe should have taken at least half of that?
Half of what?
That figure.
No, because Joe, like, a good thing Charlemagne said in the midst of them beefing was, you don't get what you're worth, you get what you negotiate. Right? Mm-hmm. So Joe went in and got what he negotiated. Okay. So Joe and the Joe Budden podcast, they were satisfied with what they received because that's what they negotiated from the first time. Okay. Right? But when they went back to negotiate further, now it didn't fit what they were trying to do.
But that's my thing. It's not just about like him being satisfied with what he negotiated. Yes, you're satisfied with what you negotiated, what you came here for, you got. But the realization after the fact that you knew what I was worth.
They didn't know in the beginning. They didn't. No, they didn't. I promise you they didn't.
Podcast industry hadn't been around when Joe Budden came to Spotify. Podcast industry didn't just come when Joe came to Spotify.
Yeah, but they don't have the data. They don't know what it is because
Spotify knew what Apple had. But Spotify knew what Apple was doing.
But the thing is, they don't know what was going to be.
How long was Joe Rogan around?
Joe Rogan wasn't on anybody. He was on by himself, though. But Joe Rogan's been around. He has 1,000 episodes out.
All right, but you don't think that these guys know this industry? You feel me? Like, come on. You don't think that these guys, these are powered players, right?
We would assume.
You know.
When they came into the podcast, remember how I was explaining to you? When they came into the podcast world, when they signed Joe Budden and they signed Amy Schumer, when they came in, they only were like 1% of the podcast market. So they didn't know. Apple's not going to share that information with you so you can go and do the same thing and take over.
I don't feel at all like they did not know, bro.
How?
I don't feel at all like, oh, we are just completely oblivious.
I'm not saying they're oblivious.
They knew what it could do. Even if they didn't have data and specific numbers that they could relate to. They knew what it could do, whether it was based on Joe Rogan, and even if they didn't have specific numbers, they knew what it could do. Apple had been in the podcast industry for a minute. They knew what Apple was doing on podcasts, advertising, all of that. They knew what it could, the potential. If they didn't know its potential, I don't think they would have ever brought Joey on.
Why not?
Why would I bring on Joe Budden's podcast just because there were other.
But
No.
But the thing is, you still don't know what's going to happen. You could bring him on, but you still don't know if it's going to actually be successful.
Facts, but you know that the potential.
You didn't think it was nine figures,
bro.
though.
But still, you're not going to You're not going to pay me what you're worth. You're going to pay me what I'm able to negotiate.
Correct.
That's not cool. It's not.
I'm not saying it's cool. And I think that's where. I think you're not misconstruing, but I think that's where we're running into the issue is, do I think he should have got it? Yes. Absolutely. Do I think he should have got some of it? Yes. A portion of it? Yes. But that's not what happened. You know what I mean? So it's like I can't be mad at the past. I can just know that now going in the future, he's going to achieve and receive what he should.
I'm sure. You can't be mad at the past. I can't be mad at the past. Fuck that. I can't be mad at the past.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like some things need to just fail. Some things need to be done with.
But we won't need to know if they need to fail until we actually go through and get fucked in it, unfortunately.
Man, we've been fucked for
long
time. Long time ago days.
Correct. But now it's a little bit different with music. It's not happening as often. You see people bringing in a lot of money. People that want to, the people that should, the people that are actually taking their time, the people that are focusing on it. You see artists are a lot happier now.
Are they?
The ones that I'm talking about, yes. Not the ones that just come in and say, hey, I want a deal. Not the ones that are just coming in to just be rappers. I'm talking about the ones that are out here really doing the right thing, paying attention and focusing. Those are the ones I'm talking about. So, yes, there are rappers still out here getting fucked. Not all of them, though.
No,
what I'm saying is, we didn't know what was available with podcasts at that time. There's never been a podcast that really did that. That wasn't independent, doing their own thing. And now that we do know, it helps all of us. We have to have these things to happen. And there's going to be more people that get fucked in the process.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Maybe Joe didn't know what podcasts could do, but I definitely believe that Spotify knew what the potential of having, But
what are they supposed to do?
Cut that nigga in on a fair fucking deal.
I understand that, which they didn't, so he left, right?
Yeah.
But them as a business, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to make a profit, correct? You can't be mad at them for going in and making a profit.
I'm not mad at them for going in to make a profit. I'm mad at the business model, and I'm mad that we continuously allow and partner with these companies and these labels and these corporations that don't support. They don't really have our best interests, bro.
They're not going to. It's never going to be that way.
That's why they need
to fail. I'm not saying they don't need to fail. I'm not saying that they don't need to fail at all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that we need these situations to happen so we can identify them.
I feel like it's happened one too many times though, Reese. This shit has happened over and over and over and over and over again.
And it's happened to a lot of people.
A lot of people.
But what if it never happened? Then what?
We can't say.
Are we here? Do we have this conversation? Are we talking about our worth? Probably, because they're going to get us some other way. That's the point of business. Like, the business is to make a profit. And somebody's going to have to get fucked in the process. That's why if you really want to do this thing, start a business, you have to understand. Like, I have a saying to myself that I'm like, to make $1 million, if you're not like an athlete, you're going to have to fucking do some dirty shit to get where you're at.
Wow.
I believe that wholeheartedly currently. Whether it be you're going to have to fuck somebody over, whether it be you have to do somebody dirty, whether it be you steal some sort of idea, whether it be you're not giving credit to something, like whether it is you had to build some sort of or create some sort of controversy that wasn't real. That's why, like, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of like social media and the way things operate because I'm not into shock value and saying things. Like, I say a lot of wild shit, but this is literally how I feel and how I'm thinking. It's not like I'm thinking about it to the point where like, oh, this is going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, these are the things that I feel. This is how I feel in that moment. I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that type of world because I know what that creates. And that's just, it's just a weird space to be in because then I feel like I'm compromising myself.
So you feel as though you can't make $1 million without fuck somebody over, as it currently stands.
No.
I would really, really love for our audience to chime in. You know what I'm saying? Because this is you and I having a discussion, but I don't know. It could be, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm the kind of naive, like, peace and love type of motherfucker in this dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, you know what I'm saying, sometimes you can be a little bit more cut and dry, but I feel like people can take a more righteous route to success.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand those that don't.
Mm-hmm.
And why they choose to go that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
My goal is to possibly make $1 million. My goal is to make $1 million without having to do that.
Yeah.
My goal is to make $1 million without having to be somebody else other than just me.
Right.
Like, that's my goal.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even have to be fuck $1 million. I just want to be comfortable. Like, I don't need $1 million. It'd be nice. But for me to make my own living and create my own living in my own circumstances, that's what I'm more interested in, is creating my own circumstances on my own terms without compromising my values.
So how would you create value? Like, how would you value yourself? How do you value yourself? What's your worth?
The way that I do it is just simply by doing research on, whatever I'm operating in, whatever space I'm operating in. And this is recent, right? This is recent conversations with myself due to the pandemic, due to just a different understanding of life and the way that businesses operate, and obviously conversations that are happening right now and paying deep attention to them. And understanding what I bring to a company, right? What my value is. What is my job? That's where I start. What do I do? How do I do it? What are the results of my job, right? What are they asking of me at my job? How many hours do I work? What are the laws of the state? Like the deep shit, like shit, that we don't have to go in on a day-to-day basis and really think about, but the things that are there, the things that maintain your job, the thing like literally the details that explain what your role is, what your position must do, what are what are your businesses or what are your company's ethics, like those type of things, right? So I go into that type of stuff, reason being because once you understand that, you can understand the customer, right? And I feel like that's the next step. Who is the recipient? Who's the customer? Who's the consumer of your business, right? Why are we doing what we're doing for these people? Why are we retaining them? Why are we selling them this? What is the point, right? Then it's like, shoot, what's my pay like? Am I getting compensated for sales? Am I not getting compensated? Is it a commission-based job? Is it a salary-based job? All of those things are important because if you're commission-based, you're in a sense getting a piece of the equity of this company, right? So that's kind of like sometimes one of the best positions to be in if you're the perfect person for the role. Mm-hmm. Are you getting equity in the company? Or are you just getting a salary? Right? Are you getting paid a certain? Are you what is it called? There's a salaried employee and a non-exempt person where you can continuously get raises, things like that. Salary person, they give you a salary. This is what you make. These are the hours that you have to work. that type of thing, you're kind of stuck. So how does your pay operate? Right? And once you have all that understanding, then you got to look at it from the company, right? How much are they making, or how much can they make from these people, right? And not to go back to the banking thing, but just from a banking perspective, there's just a lot of money being tossed around on a day-to-day basis.
Thanks.
There's a lot of money being tossed around. And once you kind of understand that, you can start to name your price.
Mm-hmm.
But also at the same time, that job has the ability to say, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So you run the risk of that, right? So then you also have to be honest with yourself about who you are, where you are, what you offer. And are you even the best fucking employee there to be even talking the way that you're talking?
Facts.
You know, so it doesn't, you know.
I think that's the deciding factor, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, there's so many people that can do a job, bro.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people that can do a job, which is why especially large corporations have the advantage that they do to say, it's right here.
Yeah. And the reason they have that advantage is because nobody's going to think the way that we're just speaking about.
Right.
Right? There's only going to be a select group of people that do that, but they are going to be cast out. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Because you can't have everybody thinking that way.
Yeah.
Because then you won't have a business model anymore.
Nope.
You won't have the structure to pay everybody equally.
And I think when you step into the workforce in the frame of mind that I'm an independent contractor, and this is a partnership that we going into,
Mm-hmm.
and here are the terms of the deals, that's when it begins to progress. You know
another thing I left out is, what are your benefits that you're receiving? Because there's a lot of...
Facts.
Bro.
Facts.
My girl just had surgery.
Facts.
She showed me the bill that her surgery cost. It was like $76,000. She only had to pay $100.
Facts. I'm an independent contractor. Here are the terms of my deal.
Independent contractors don't get benefits.
Hey, here are the terms. Because if you want to do this business with me, because I am the person that can get the job done,
Mm-hmm.
I need this, I need this, I need
Mm-hmm.
this, I need this, and I need this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't value that, I'm going to move on until I find the right place that can.
Yeah. And how long do some people have that?
Hey, I get that. I understand that. And
Right.
that's why we do what we must.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why what's going on now. But I'm just saying, if we're in that frame of mind, and that's that's the majority, and that could be just me in my own, my own land.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's the majority, and that's the way that we're thinking, it's more of a partnership than just me accepting, what's trickled down.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then going a little deeper, if I'm minding my own business and I have the understanding that at the end of the day, you're probably, if we can't come into a partnership, you're probably never, ever, ever, ever gonna pay me what I'm worth.
Mm-hmm.
Let me mind my own fucking business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Period.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
That's a fact. And that's the thing about the whole, just the worker bee mentality
Mm-hmm.
versus the entrepreneur
Mm-hmm.
versus, whatever it may be. Like there's so many pieces to it all. It's hard to really pinpoint a way to value yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You have to know what you're capable of, what you're willing to do, the lengths that you're willing to go.
Yeah.
And actually
Do you settle?
Sometimes you may have to, depending on your circumstances. But some people are also able to be patient.
True.
In bad situations and good situations, to be patient and wait for that opportunity. And
you know what? And not so that I put this out there.
or work for a better opportunity, not wait for an opportunity.
Right. And so that I put this out there, not to make this about money and monetizing everything. Some people feel like what they're worth is more than money.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's something else, and maybe you get that, and that's fulfilling for you. And that's perfectly 100% cool and fine.
Absolutely, and that's where the conversation with Joe Budden got a little out of hand, because like what happened was the media started coming out with all these ridiculous ass things saying Joe left, or the podcast left because they didn't have enough money for them. Joe was asking for this money, this amount, and Joe clearly got on TV and told you what he asked for.
Yeah.
Got on the podcast and told you what he asked for. He didn't ask for that. He asked for equity in the company, which would either be some sort of stock options, maybe a seat at the board, some sort of stuff like that. It wasn't about money. They weren't looking for, the Bill Simmons deals that they were offering. They weren't looking for the Joe Rogan deals that they were offering. They were looking for equity in the company because they know at the end of the day that's the most important thing to do. Right? Yeah. They were looking to get ad share revenue. They were looking to get those types of things. And they weren't providing that or thinking about those options, so they left. That was it. And it was just so crazy to see like the backlash that he was receiving and the way people were talking about him, like, oh, Joe messed it up again. I'm like, do y'all not understand he's out here fighting for creative and fighting for ownership for people that we need? Like, these are the things that we need. We need people to come out and speak about these things because this is what demolishes it, right? It may not completely shut down Spotify, but it will make people avoid going over to Spotify.
And even if it doesn't make people avoid going over to Spotify, hopefully it'll get your gears churning, right? It'll make you start thinking about, you know what I'm saying? What am I worth?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How much money does this motherfucking company make as a result of what I'm going every day to do?
Like, they couldn't even go on vacation. They had issues where they were trying to go on vacation and like Spotify was like, nah, no.
That's wild.
Think about that.
That's wild as fuck.
Right? And that's why, like, if somebody was to ask me what my value is, especially at the job that I work at, I'm like, nigga, you can't afford me, honestly.
God damn. You know what though, my G? It's a lot of niggas that would debate that. It's a lot of motherfuckers that would debate that. But I'm sure if you had the proper access and you took the time, you could go back and counter it. I could go back and counter it.
Yeah. I've been there 6 years. You've been there, what, 9, 10?
I could probably, if I had the proper access and I had the time.
If I documented my process.
And counter that shit.
And
say, you know what? Here are the people I work with. Here are the people I've retained. This is throughout the lifetime of them being with you guys, what they brought to you.
Yep.
And here is what I paid.
Yep.
Explain it to me.
Yeah. And that's the thing. They're not going to give us access. Right? And that's what Joe went in to the Spotify deal initially with, was for data. I want to know the cost of a stream. If this person is making this amount of money for a 3-minute, 4-minute, 5-minute song, which is weird because all these songs are different, lengthwise, and I'm keeping them on your platform, and I know that the listener is the product now because you're selling ads to us, you're listening to us, you're seeing what we're doing on a day-to-day basis.
Yep.
Social Dilemma shit. Go check it out.
Please go check out Social Dilemma.
If that's what you're doing in the background while these people just are blindly just going, or just going out and listening to music, right? If that's what you're doing, and I'm going out and they're keeping these people on your platform for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and if you listen to a full album, maybe 45 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever it may be, because time is getting shorter. But me, I'm keeping you on your platform with my podcast. I'm keeping your listeners on this podcast for 3 hours. hour and a half, 2 hours. What is my stream worth?
Right. How much are you making off of that? How much are you, Spotify, making off of me retaining listeners? This amount of listeners for 3
And I was
hours.
here for 2 years.
Listen, what Social Dilemma is saying is that you are the product. Is that social media platforms have algorithms that can tell what you're liking, what's going on in your background, how long you're on their platform, how long you're looking at a specific image or whatever on their platform, so that they can connect with the right advertisers and be paid by these advertisers more than probably what they're, trickling down to anyone else working for them. To advertise target advertising to specific audiences.
To give you a scenario, say you're listening to the new Big Sean album, right? A couple weeks ago it was the #1 album, in the country. So a lot of people were listening to that record, right? That record comes out, there's everybody listening to it, and in the background at the same time, you might be cleaning. Damn, I'm out of Dove. You say that, right? Because you're cleaning your dishes, whatever it may be. Oh shit, man, I need me some new Jordans, man. These Jordans is fucked up. Or they got a new pair of Jordans coming out. Damn, you see these Jordans? You talking to your own boy. The whole time Spotify is listening to you.
You're the product.
You're the product. Spotify, the whole time, Spotify is listening to you.
You're the product.
Right? And then, all of a sudden, on your phone, you start getting ads for Dove, ads for Nike, ads for Jordan. I know you've all seen it.
And nigga, I was just about to say that. Nigga, the Douce is flowing. But don't you fucking sit here and act like you ain't been talking about something. Nigga, I was talking about fucking, I don't know what, bro. I can't even name anything specific. I could say Nike. I could say Nike. I could say Jordans. I could say jewelry. I could say anything. I've talked about things specific. I've talked about flying and flights, and all of a sudden, American airline deals and flight deals come up on my timeline.
Shit, I've literally gotten emails.
There's been several instances where I've talked about things, and a day to 2 days later, I've seen it on my fucking timeline pop up. Oh, da 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 da. Bro, if you don't think that these smartphones, nigga, they don't call it smartphones just because. If you don't think this shit is not listening to you, you agree to it. When you buy it,
and the crazy thing is, Apple has been trying to do a lot better job with privacy, and they've done a really good job. But you agree to it when you download Spotify. You agree to it when you download Instagram. You agree to it when you download
even these
Facebook.
third party apps.
Yeah, you agree to it when you download fucking
all of that
video games
shit
on your phone.
You know
all
what I'm
that
saying?
shit.
And even if Apple tries to do a great job at it, it's a smartphone, bro. You ain't going to buy this shit not to use, the latest technology.
It's an industry with no
point blank. Period. The end.
It's an industry with no fucking limits on your privacy, and the Social Dilemma gets into a lot more stuff other than just that. But that's the way that these things use you as a product.
Fact of the matter is, you need to know that. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're okay with it,
the way to beat the algorithm is like everything.
Listen, facts. You know what I'm saying? I always clown my sister, right? And I be like, yo, I'm gonna buy you a new phone, bro, because my sister could care less about upgrading her phone, having the latest phone. Like, she uses, some apps, and they may be trash when she uses them because she doesn't have the latest model, like version of whatever phone. But you know what though? She values that. She values her fucking privacy. Yeah.
Values life more than.
And that is the world to her. Yeah. And I respect that shit.
Yeah.
Because you know what? she may have a less chance of being preyed on than I do. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
That's literally what it is too. Like, you're being preyed on by these businesses. They're just going to sell you what you need, when you need it, how you need it, when you want. Like, I'm almost to the point where it's like, I feel like they might fuck around and sell you something at a different price than somebody else.
You don't know that?
Like, put it like when
definitely going on.
Like, say you go on Amazon, they already got your information because you've been on Amazon before. They might sell it cheaper to this person and sell it to you for this price. I don't know if that's going on, but there's a possibility.
I can't speak towards Amazon exactly, but
I know they do that with flights.
That's definitely going on.
Like, when you look at a flight, like, and then you go back and you look at the flight later, and it's a different price. I'm like, nigga, what changed?
The age of technology is designed to predict your habits. It already know. If you bank anywhere, you know that your banking system knows your spending patterns. Mm-hmm. Your spending patterns, where you frequent most. You know that Apple, you know that little thing that y'all had on YouTube about turn off this certain feature because Apple can, retain where the location you frequent most. Mm-hmm. Come on. The age of technology. If you don't know that, wake the fuck up and realize it. Yeah. That's what this shit is doing. It's convenient as fuck. There's good and there's evil. It's always going to exist. It's good and it's evil. There's great and there's a lot of bad in this technology, but it's there and it's doing exactly what it's going to do. It's making it more accessible for it to be in your home and pinpoint exactly what it is you need, you want, what you're doing, how you're feeling, to be able to predict where to take it.
And hopefully this didn't dampen your mood.
I'm sorry, I hope I hope it doesn't,
But it's facts. Like, you need to know this. Like,
yo,
if you haven't
let's
seen
talk
it by
about
now,
some real shit though.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it by now, man, like, this is the shit that they talking about on there, man. And just think about the stuff that they didn't tell us.
You know what I'm saying? I could crack a joke at the end of it to make you laugh, but at the end of the day, this shit is real, bro. Yeah. It's real.
Shit's real as fuck.
And how you want to move? How would you like to be valued? How do you want to be watched? How do you want them to collect your information? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just how you choose to play the game, but just know that it's real. Yeah. Don't be fucking naive to it. Mm-hmm. Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, and shit, I ain't even got much else, honestly. Where do you go from there?
You can't go anywhere.
Like, you can't go no from, like, I can't take y'all nowhere. Like, I can't take y'all nowhere after that. Like, I just want y'all to sit in that. If you haven't seen...
What Country Wayne say? He say, let that sizzle in your spirit.
Oh, Country Wayne, yeah.
Let that sizzle in your spirit. You do what you must with it. You know what I'm saying? Digest that. Think about it. Consider it. Mm-hmm. You think it's hot.
Check out The Social Dilemma.
Yeah, for sure.
A great conversation.
It's worth watching.
The last 5 episodes of the Brilliant Idiots. I'm sorry, the last 5 episodes of the Joe Budden podcast. The first episode back for the Brilliant Idiots, which is Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne. Mm-hmm. There's an episode on there where they kind of get into like their deal with iHeart. If you watch all of that, that will kind of give you a good understanding of what's going on, your worth, other situations that are going on in the world that may actually directly impact you, right, depending upon your actual work. Your career, right, choice. So there's a lot of things like within there. So just do some research. There's a lot of great information out there. That's the one great benefit of the internet. Also, just don't take one source. That's why I'm offering so many sources right now where you can learn about this, because this is how I operate. Mm-hmm. I look at everything. Yeah. I watch everything. I read almost everything. Like, it's like I like looking at little news blurbs. Like, what do they got this time? Like, what are they talking about now? You know, like that's my thing because I feel like I don't want to be misinformed.
Yeah.
I don't want to be lied to. I don't want to sit around and not know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like I want to know if I can maneuver. Is there a way I can get out of this type of situation? Is there a way that I can use this in my benefit?
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. So it's just like get out here, find out what's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that you need to know about. That's going to affect our futures. And maybe we can stop certain things if we just become a little bit more enlightened and a little bit more educated on these things.
And if nothing else at all, like it's worth the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm open. I'm open to debating. Not even debating, but I'm open to having conversations. You know what I'm saying? It may be a lot for people to digest. Some people may just not be on the same frequency. Let's talk about it though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. Don't be so quick to dismiss things that you feel aren't as easy to digest or understand.
Mm-hmm.
Think on it. Let that sizzle in your spirit. Do your own research. Do your own research.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And just, hear it out at least. I think that's the beginning of change.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Doing your own research, hearing things out, considering, other opinions and other perspectives other than your own.
Yep.
That's the start of change.
Yep. And with that being said, start an LLC.
Wow.
But seriously, that's another episode of the Unsolicited Culture Podcast.
Yeah.
Episode 23.
Yeah.
23, right?
I don't know, nigga.
Shit, I don't know, man. This do say flowing.
This might not be 23.
I don't know what up. No, this is episode 24. I'm bugging.
You big bugging.
This is episode 24. Shit.
We didn't have too much to say.
Yeah, too much.
Hey, yo, do it, sir!
Hopefully they're still listening after your shenanigans earlier.
You want me to say it again?
No.
Because I can go back there.
No, we don't need that. We don't.
And
need
it wasn't shenanigans. I literally, like I said in the beginning, I quoted a real lyric from a real song, and that's how it started. And out of respect for you, bro, I'm not gonna go back there. Hey, yo, do say real life, like, nigga, I say this all day, every day, on every episode. Like, we really go out and we search for Duce so that we can have it for every episode.
And as we talk about LLCs, the Pharrell and Jay-Z record comes on where they're talking about all the black-owned businesses. So it's a maybe they were listening.
They always do.
But yeah, that's it. Another episode of the Unsolicited Culture Podcast.
Sure.
Like, subscribe, comment, repost, share. It's all free.
Yep.
Follow us, please.
$3.99. Every episode, there's a new playlist. Please go and check that music. Please go and support those artists. We fucks with them. We dig it. Don't.
And I know y'all will too.
Yeah. Don't take that lightly. Go and support those artists, bro.
And these are some that you may never heard of. These aren't the mainstream people. We're
Yep.
going out and getting the real shit from the mud. So.
Yep. Again, we always a pre-trial. What did I say?
Good Lord. No more for you.
Do say.
Bartender.
Cut
her off.
I'm good.
Cut her off.
I'm good where I'm at. We always appreciate you guys coming through and rocking with us. Continue that support. It does not go unnoticed. Until the next time, deuces.
Peace.